So what's going on, people? Welcome back to my videos, and in this video we are starting conditional statements. Okay, so that will be a if loop. Okay, so let me show you an example or a syntax of how to use the if loop. So the syntax will look like this. Okay, let's go for the any one file. Let's do this. Okay, let's remove the age, and then let's go for this file and let's clear this. Okay, so basically, if you are if you need to know about syntax of if loop, so the syntax look like this: condition, and then you need to close the bracket, and then you need to specify something here, and then you need to end with if. So fi. So basically, if you are writing a if loop, then we need to specify if and then the conditions. Let's say you are saying if 2 is more than 3, or something like that. That will be the this place in this particular what bracket. You need to specify that condition, and then you need to say if this condition true, then basically this is the like easy English, common English. So then do something for me. So that do something for me will be written in this particular line, and then you need to end this with fi. So this is basically the syntax of a bash scripting. Okay, now I just showed you how to use this in only by using if. Let's say you have many more statements. You can use if else statements. Else if statements, and then you can specify condition, condition, uh, and then you need to come back, and then you need to specify else, and then you are closing with if. So this will be basically the syntax of if else, or if else if, or else, and in the last you need to close it with fi. So this will be the syntax of else if statements. Okay, so there is many comparison operation that you can use in the condition statements. Let me show you one by one. Okay, so if you need to check equal to, so this will be basically to say this is equal to. So if you use hyphen eq, this is nothing but equal to. Let's say any. So any is basically not equal to. So if you use hyphen eq, that is equal to. Then if you use ne, that is not equal to. Okay, so now if you specify lt, that is not less than, so 2 less than, so you can use lt. Okay, so if you need to specify less than or equal to, then you can specify ld. So l means less than equal to, so that will be less than or equal to. Okay, now if you specify g and t, that is basically greater than. If you specify ge, you will come to know like it is self-explanatory, greater than or equal to. Okay, so if you specify eq equal to, okay, n means not equal to, and then lt, l means less than, so less equal to, less than or equal to, so greater than. Okay, so greater than or equal to. So this is how you remember this comparison operation. Okay, let's try one programming, to write one programming. Okay, let's say okay, so in the before I showed you, let's go back. Okay, I showed you some if else statements. So in this I used one bracket. In this I used one bracket, that is single bracket, or basically you call it as box bracket, something like that. So instead of using this single bracket, you can use double bracket also. This will be basically what it is basically the most powerful way to handle conditions. So if you use double bracket, you need to have a space. Okay, so whenever you specify in double bracket or a single bracket, you need to have a space between the bracket. You should not write any conditions which is touching to that brackets. Okay, you need to leave space between the brackets, starting and ending. Also you need to leave the brackets, and inside also you should leave some space. Okay, here you left some space, and then here you left some space. So here you need to leave some space. Here you need to leave some space, but you should not leave space between open bracket twice. You should not leave space in between this. In between this you should not leave space, but you should leave space between the conditions. So in the starting also you need to leave one space, and in the ending also you need to leave one space. So this will be basically used to the, like, you can also use single brackets, but if you use double bracket, so it will be more powerful than a single bracket. That is why we use double brackets. Okay, let's try one example. Okay, now let's come back. Okay, now what we do, let's create two files. Okay, let's create one file called touch file.txt, like this. Now we'll go inside the first file. So we'll write one script that is called, we are using double bracket, that will be more powerful. Then I'm specifying -f. I'll say you why it is file.txt. Then I am specifying AND operation, and then I'm specifying w, and then I am specifying file.txt, and then I'm closing it. Then I'm doing echo. So basically I'm saying, if this file is there, and this file is writable, I'm saying if, so I specify f because this is a file. If this is a directory, then I was specifying -d. Okay, so this is basically a file, so I specify -f, and then I'll give a file name that is basically file.txt. I'm saying if this file exists, and then check that file w, that is writable. So if this file is writable, so if this both condition become true, that is AND operation is basically 1 × 1 is equal to 1. So if this both condition true, then it will basically print this file exist, file.txt exist, and it is writable. If it is not exist, let's say the file does not exist, you can use else, and then you can specify echo file.txt does not exist. Okay, let's stop this, and it is ending with fi. Okay, let's save this. Now I'll just run this first file. You can see, so if you do ls, so you can see file.txt. So file.txt exists, and then it is writable. Okay, now let's delete this file and let's try that script, what it will do. Okay, now remove file.txt, then I'll run that script again. If I run that script again, you can see, so file does not exist. So this is how this is one of the example to write a bash scripting. Okay, let's do one more example that will be using numbers. Nano. Okay, let's clear this out. Okay, now specify two variables, that will be number 1 is equal to 10, and then number 2 is equal to 20. Okay, so I specified two variables, number 1 and number 2. I did not leave spaces in between is equal to, you can see there. Okay, now I specify if and double brackets. In that I specify $number 1 is less than $number 2. Number 2, if it is less than number 2, then do something for me. Do I can echo it as $number 1 is less than $number 2. So this will basically print if this is less than. Let's see. Else if $number 1 is equal to, if it is equal, number 1 is equal to 10 and number 2 is equal to 20, then only if that case, then only it will print number 2. Then I'll close it. Then I need to echo, and then we can specify number 1 is equal to number 2. Okay, so this will basically print if number is if the number is equal. Okay, let's go for the next one. If these both condition fails, okay, then you can do echo, and then you can specify number 1 is greater than and number 2. Number 1 is greater than number 2. Okay, so this will basically end this. Okay, so you can see that if the first condition, if it is less than, okay, so if number 1 is less than number 2, then it will print number 10 is lesser than 20. So if it is equal, then it will print 10 is equal to 20. If it is greater than, then it will print 10 is greater than number 2, that will be 20. Let's see this. Let's save this. Okay, now I'll run the script. So 10 is lesser than 20. Now what we do, let's change that. Okay, let's change this to 30. Let's see what will happen. If I run the script, you can see 30 is greater than 20. So this is how this is one of the example I showed like how to use the bash scripting to write a program. This is just a basic example. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye.